Welcome, everyone. Enough chit chat. All right. Type into the chat and just let us know if you guys are on board with us on this first little slide that we threw up here. All right. So we were working a little while ago, as our leadership team here at Your Home Sold. And, we were talking about real estate agents, and the things they want and what, the pain points and all that kind of stuff. And there's just so much, pain points that most real estate agents, in my experience, in my 10,000 sales, 10,000 real estate transactions, give or take, my experience with it is that some of the pain points don't even know, are real issues. Right, Chase? We were talking about that. Whereas most real estate agents spend a lot of time just trying to get more customers. And it's like, what about all the customers you've had? You know, didn't you have a listing last week? Yeah. What did you do with it? Well, I sold it. And I was like, but how much business did you get from that customer? And you mean like referrals? No. I mean, like the number one thing people are looking for in the marketplace is properties, and you got one. Like, how did you leverage that listing to get more listings? And it's like a foreign concept. And I get it. I get it. It's not a norm or standard in real estate, but I think that's a good place to stay, good place to start today. Hey, look, my name is Todd Walters. I am the CEO, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And we've got about 70 locations around the country. And it's a fun little business we're in, making guarantees out there in the marketplace and attracting more customers that way. But there is a big system behind it. And if it's okay with you guys, we're going to share a little bit with you today. But we're just going to try to spend our time talking about getting sellers, like what's working now to get sellers and how we're able to do that. So we'll have some fun with it. But when I show up to a Zoom meeting and I don't really know, too much about, who might be talking or presenting something, I might want to get them to know them. I might want to know a little bit if it has credibility. I got some business advice. I shouldn't say business advice. I got some really good advice. Let me show you. Let's show my screen here. This is awesome. So when an agent joins our company, we send them one of these books right here. Can you guys see my camera?
It is fine. You should be.
Yes. It says the 1 year daily insights, and it's by Zig Ziglar and Dr. Ike Reichert. And if you want to know what kind of book it is, it's a devotion. And but it's written by Zig Ziglar and Dr. Ike Reichert. If you don't know who Dr. Ike is, I'll give you. But I think everybody knows who Zig is or was. And so anyway, it's awesome. So when an agent comes on board, we send them one of those, and we just tell them the story behind it. Like, hey, this is a great way to start your day. Like you want to start with a positive frame of mind. Life is hard enough as it is, and you're going to be working with people in a highly charged emotional situation. Buying and selling the place they call home gets highly charged emotional sometimes, and this could help. The co-author of that book is Dr. Ike Reichert, and Dr. Ike was my pastor at New Hope Baptist Church down in Fayetteville, Georgia, when I was growing up, and he married my wife and I. But the guy is an amazing leadership expert. He was John Maxwell's first coaching student. Him and John are super great buddies, and him and Zig were pals. Okay, as a matter of fact, Zig Ziglar had Ike. They would meet every week, and Ike would tell Zig what he should do and helped him craft his Sunday school sessions. Because if you guys were big Zig Ziglar fans, you know that he was a big Sunday school teacher. So anyway, they got to be good pals over the year. They wrote that book together. Ike officiated Zig's funeral. And so that's kind of my connection. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because, all right, all to get to this. Crazy. I called Ike one day for some advice when my business was not going so good. Okay. And he said, look, Todd, I'm going to give you some advice. He said, look, you should only take your business advice from people that have achieved what you most want. You should only take your business advice from people who have achieved what you most want. He said it twice. And then he finished the second time by saying this: you just better know what you most want. So in other words, the question I asked him, he could have answered it for me, but what I was wanting to achieve was at a very high level. I give you an example. something that we're working on right now is we've got an opportunity to roll all of our real estate companies up into one and take it public, and that'll benefit all the agents and give us some capital and be able to continue to do what we do. You're going to see some of that today, and that's pretty cool. That's a $1 billion, valuation, probably market cap business, and so like, who would I call for that? Who would I talk to about doing such a thing? Okay. Well, see, that's big enough where if you were talking to probably anybody on this Zoom today who haven't done it before, then they would say, well, I've never done that, so I can't really speak to it. But everybody's got an opinion about something, right? That's the problem with real estate, is that when we get into real estate, we look around to what everyone else is doing. Okay. And Nathan, you there?
Yep.
Okay. So Nathan, that is the fundamental problem with the entire real estate industry right there. Okay. And the reason is because the real estate agents, when I joined a REMAX office a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I don't know about you guys, but when I joined that office, it was just another real estate office. Okay. They're almost all the same. Okay. Almost all, not all, almost all the same. And the statistics bear it out. Nathan, what are the success statistics with real estate agents at these brokerages?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So our average agent makes about $48,000. You have the first year agent making $9,000. So if you just got your license, you'll probably make about $9,000. If you want to be in the top 5% of real estate agents, you're making $100,000. If you want to be in the top 1%, you're making $250,000. So the statistics are pretty tough out there. And also, if you've been in the business for 5 years, congratulations, because 87% of people are out of this business within 5 years.
Okay. Now, those are NARS numbers. And that's a problem. So real estate agents just copying the wrong people. All right. It's not a big secret there on how to be successful in life, quite frankly. All right. How do you be successful in life? Personally, professionally, and financially. It's really a great topic. Okay. And there really shouldn't be a debate on it. Okay. But I'm just going to share with you what I've learned. Okay. Just make a list of whatever the majority of people are doing, personally, professionally, and financially. Just make that list of what the majority do, and then seek to legally and ethically and simultaneously do the complete dead level opposite. That's how you be successful. To the extent in real estate that you can do that is where this goes. All right, so there you go. So we just summed up our entire business philosophy and system. We just look at what the majority of real estate agents are doing, okay, brokerages are doing out there, and we just make a list, and we seek to disrupt it. And we've been very successful doing that. That's how I become a multi-billion-dollar real estate agent, a couple of $1 billion in sales volume, and made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars selling real estate. Okay, before I was freaking 35 years old. Okay, so anyway, I'm like, if I can do it, you guys, anyone can do it. But I am telling you how it works. And this needs to be said to every real estate professional who is serious about changing their life and the lives of a lot of other people. We all know that. Okay. So anyway, I don't know how else you can turn your annual income into your monthly income, except by doing the opposite of what the majority did. Okay. So just so you guys can maybe relate, credentially speaking. Okay. So I was in the top 10 for REMAX agents in the entire world. Okay. And I can assure you that I didn't get there by promoting the balloon. Okay. So if you're a REMAX agent here, I'll give you a little story on it. Okay. But it's the same story if you're with Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, EXP, Real Brokerage. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly how it worked. I'm in Vegas. The very first time I'm getting these trophies for being in the top 10 in the world for that organization. So I'm backstage. I'm hobnobbing with the guys and gals, and all of them make millions of dollars a year selling real estate now. Now, if you want some context in it, this is a while back, okay, late 90s or some such, okay? And I'm backstage, and I'm talking to these peeps, and they all have great attitudes, okay? But there was one thing they all had in common. All right. And I'm getting ready to tell you what it is. And it wasn't shocking to me. Okay. But when I tell this story, it shocks real estate agents and brokers out there. And I don't know why. Okay. Not a single one of those people promoted Remax. Not a single one. They all had an angle, okay, what I call a unique selling proposition that they promoted in their marketplace. They were exclusive and unique. And you couldn't find Remax anywhere, not even on their business cards. And this, and I know people have a hard, these are guys making millions now in the late 90s. Okay. So in the audience, this is what's crazy. In the audience, there were thousands of real estate agents in the audience, right? And they're all clapping and cheering for the people on stage. I remember walking out there and get my little, trophies or whatever it was that first time I was there. I don't know. I think I was number 7, in the world or something for Remax, 7 or 8 or something that year. Um, and I remember looking out at the audience because I can hear my wife screaming. And it was the last time I went to one of these conventions, by the way, because I realized what was really happening. Everybody in the audience, it seems like, they had Remax tattooed on their butt, on their chest. They had balloons. They were like carrying, and I'm like, I get it now. This is how it works. So I am right. Okay. And everybody that makes 7 figures or more in this business, I got it. Okay. It's all about replacement, not more of the same or trying to make it better. There you go. That was it. That was a big takeaway for me. Hopefully that helps you guys because it sets a tone for what we're getting ready to get ourselves into. So I'm going to fast forward here to talk about getting sellers. And I'm going to share something with you that might be pretty disruptive here. So I'm going to skip around a little bit today, guys. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that we flipped the name of our company over some time ago. I guess about 4 years ago, 4 years or so ago. So yeah, I guess in 4 years or so, we've done pretty well here. 70 companies, bunch of real estate agents around the country, and it's going really well. But I'm telling you why. It's like, what's the best way to frame this, Chase and Nathan? You know what? I think this is the best way to frame it. The majority of real estate agents out there are programmed, and their paradigm says, I need to go get a listing. And when I get the listing, then I try to go get offers. That's the best way to frame it. So what's the norm and standard in real estate for working with sellers or working for buyers? You guys should be able to put that into the chat right now. What you believe the normal and standard way of doing things is. Every real estate agent thinks that their way is better than the other person. And I'm like, well, then why aren't more people in the top 1%? Okay. 1% is what, 250, 300 grand a year? They would make that a week. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, that's there's a reason for the lack of growth and consistency out there. And I'm just telling you what it is. The more real estate agents do what everybody else is doing, you can pretty much expect that you're going to get that. Okay. But if you really truly want to achieve your God-given potential, then it's just like the New Testament says, you're just going to have to be different than just about everyone around you. So I'm a big believer in that. Okay. So much so that we flipped the name of the company over to the Guarantee. Duh. And when we did, what happened, Nathan? The day that the week that we did that, what happened?
Phone starts ringing.
It was insane. Now it was funny too, because I'd grown up in real estate promoting your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. Grew up promoting it. That's how I become a $1 billion agent, is by basically guaranteeing the sale of every customer's home, guaranteed everything. Okay. And you may be wondering, like, guaranteed everything, guaranteed everything. We'll try to take a look at some of those guarantees here as we move forward. But I thought this would be a pretty good place to start. Okay. So let's just look at some offers here. This one down here in the bottom right-hand corner, where we'll guarantee that we'll get you your price or we'll pay the difference. That one's very powerful. Okay. Very powerful. So, but in the marketplace today, okay, fast forward to today, and what's happening is that there's a trend. We've discovered that there's a trend of homeowners that would prefer to get offers on their house without listing it or talking to an agent. And I'm like, well, it makes sense to me. Hell, I would want that too. If I was selling my house, like who would not want, if you can avoid listing your home? Who in their right mind says, I can't wait to list my house, baby? You got to be kidding me. You just want to sell it. All right. So I would write this down. This will be helpful. And then we'll look at some offers and talk about the process. I would write this down. And I hate dictating stuff. I probably should just do it a different way. Ask questions. All right. So I'm going to ask it as a question. What do you guys think sellers want? Now, hold on. I'm assuming that all of you that are here would prefer to have a steady flow of sellers contacting you on a weekly basis. Hey, I want to sell my house. So let's say that your name is Brian. Hey, Brian, I want to sell my house. Can you help me? Like, who doesn't want that call if you're in real estate, right? Okay. So let's assume that I'm going to assume that that's what every one of you would prefer to have, a steady flow of sellers calling you, contacting you, saying, I want to sell my house. Okay. So we'll call that your ideal customer. All right. So just write that down. If you're taking notes here, somebody can put it in the chat. Ideal customer, we'll say buyer with a house to sell. Okay. Because if you're selling your home, you're probably buying something else, and we'd like to get in on it with that customer, right? So we'll call it buyer with a house to sell. Ideal customer. All right. Now, if that's true, if that's your ideal customer, someone with a home to sell, who is your competition? Let me know in the chat who your competition is. If that's who you want, your target customer is someone with a house to sell. You're going to build an entire business enterprise around that. Okay. Then who is your number one competitor? That's a good question. That's a good question. Type into the chat and let me know. Is the chat not working? You better fix that. Is the chat working? Hello. Is chat working? Can you guys see my chat?
I can.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Chat's working. All right, good. All right, so
You're not talking to yourself. Okay, good.
all right, good. Because here's how
saying
it works, dude. I don't know if you guys, look, I'm nothing special. I've done a couple of $1 billion since 10,000 real estate transactions, CEO of a pretty good sized company. But I'm telling you, I started bankrupt and homeless in this business. I am no different and better than you guys. I just work at it. I study direct response marketing and leadership, and try to hang out with high level people and learn a thing or two about how to improve my life, and try to pass on as much as I can. That's all that's happening right here. So try not to be intimidated and participate. This getting better personally, professionally, and financially, I can assure you, is not a spectator sport. All right, good. So the chat's working. All right, so I'm going to re-ask the question again. All right. So if your ideal customer is someone with a house to sell, then who is your number one competitor? Okay, Brian says every other agent. Anybody else? Any takers? Obviously, you're waiting on me to give you what I consider to be the right answer. And trust me, when I give you my answer, it is the right one. Elizabeth says yourself. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Please, please. I know that it's tough being on Zoom sometimes. I would pay close attention. Okay, because what I'm getting ready to tell you will change your life like it did mine. All right, you ready? All right, number one. Okay, if you want sellers, if that's who you guys want calling you, then who are you competing against? All right. So it's pretty obvious from the answers here that you guys aren't real sure. Okay. And Nathan, you remember being at that meeting with Grant Cardone? He was interviewing John Travolta.
yes.
Yeah, that was a really good session, by the way. So Nathan and I, we were down hanging out with Grant, and he was interviewing. He was talking to John Travolta, and my big takeaway from that talk that he had with John there was John says it's a number one business problem I think business people have is they just assume. He goes, I'm going to give you guys some advice. Um, quit quit doing that. And it hit me. I was like, dude, I'm guilty of that. All right. So in other words, when you're really, really after your hopes and dreams and you're staking what you do and you're putting your own money and time into achieving that, then the last thing we can do is assume. So one of the things I've learned here that I would like to share with you guys personally is that everything we want to do and everything that we want to achieve is already been done and already being done by someone else. In other words, somebody else has the answer. Have you ever thought about that? This is why the advice that Dr. Ike Reichard gave me, I was showing you guys that book, was so powerful. Todd, you should only take your business advice from people who have achieved what you most want to. Do you know what you most want to achieve? And I was like, I do. He goes, then you know that I can give you my opinion, but it's not the business advice that's going to help you achieve that. And I'm like, I got it, man. I think most people are just looking for validations. All right. FYI, looks like Panine was close to the right answer. Okay, but number one, if you guys are after more sellers, you need to know who you're competing against, and you're not competing against other agents. Sellers do not want to list their home as a rule. They would like to sell it. So obviously, sellers are looking for buyers. So that's who you're competing against and always have. I learned that 30, 40 years ago in real estate. My competitors were not the other agents at the real estate office I was at. I was competing with buyers. I wanted sellers. They want buyers. They don't want a real estate agent. Okay. They just settle for a real estate agent because they don't know how to find or get a buyer. Well, fast forward to 2024. We have the internet and there's buyers everywhere on the internet. So this is why it's getting harder and harder and more costly for real estate agents to get customers. Okay. Is they're focused on the wrong things, is my experience. So we built a whole real estate company to focus in on the right things and do the complete opposite. All right. So here's a good example. If you look down here, what we did is we decided to combine two elements that haven't been combined before. And that is like, okay, I can guarantee you as a seller multiple offers on your house right now, today, without listing it. I can get you multiple offers and guarantee that you'll get 100% of market value, or I will pay you the difference. Now, do you think that if you were armed with a system like that, you could get more sellers? Type into the chat and let me know. Let me know in the chat. If you are armed with a system like that where you could run around town and you could tell sellers that you could get them multiple cash offers on their home right now, today, and guarantee 100% of their price, or you will pay them the difference, do you think you could get more sellers? Okay, well, I would think the answer is yes from everyone here if you're actually paying attention. Okay, and my thing is, all right, so it kind of starts there. We have to identify who we most want, sellers. So what we did is we built an entire real estate company for real estate agents, okay, to have an easier go of getting sellers, because every seller, for the most part, is a buyer. So you get them there, you got them as a buyer, right? And of course, we generate a lot of buyers because we have a lot of sellers. Duh. And so it makes perfect sense. So it's a pretty good match. Okay. But I'm just giving you guys one aspect of it. Okay. That if you had what we have, you would have an easier time getting sellers. Okay. It's almost like it's an unfair advantage. As a matter of fact, let me share this commercial with you. Let me share my screen, share my sound. Boom, boom. Here we go. This kind of says it all.
Hey, it's Brian Neiman with a question for you. Would you like to get a cash offer on your home at your ideal price? Well, if you're considering selling, then this is for you. I have Vinny Steele with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty with me in studio, and his company will guarantee you multiple cash offers at a price agreeable to you, or he'll pay you the difference. Seems like this would be the easiest and safest way to sell your home.
Hey, Brian, yeah, I agree. There's no need to put your home on the market, hold an ineffective 3-hour open house with a bunch of strangers going through your home. You can sell as is and pick when you want to move out.
Just like you did for the Nips who were moving down to Florida. They heard the ad on the radio. They went to vinnysteo.com and were able to get 4 offers within minutes. They picked the best offer, and they picked their move-out date as well. It's hard to beat that process.
That's right, Brian. So if you'd like to receive multiple cash offers on your home at a price agreeable to you.
Okay, so there you go. Oh,
Hey,
let
it's
me,
Brian Neiman with a question for you. Would you
let me finish that off. At a price agreeable to you, or I'll pay you the difference. Okay, so that's what we did. Okay, so we said, okay, let's make sure that our platform, say Brian here has an address of a seller, okay, homeowner, expired, FISBO, it doesn't matter. He takes the address, he throws it into the platform, and it spits out multiple cash offers. Okay, we went out and we basically found 65 REITs, iBuyers, other professional buyers, including local guys that pay a lot of money, close to market value. And we just took their buying criteria and made a deal with them, put it into the system. So we put in an address, it spits out their offers. And always, 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 one of the offers will be 100% of market value, or we'll pay them the difference. All right, you guys got it? So that's it. So we just run around town promoting that. But let me tell you why it works really, really, really well. Okay, now every agent in our company has that platform, okay, and is able to do this. It's just one of the systems that we have. Now, the reason that I did this is when I retired, I sold my real estate business in April of 2009. And then I got back into real estate. I was working with Craig, coaching and training agents for a while. And then I was talked to get back into the real estate brokerage game by a buddy of mine named Dwayne Legate, who owned a company called Commissions Inc. And so I've known Dwayne for a long, long time. So we started a real estate company together in Georgia called Optimus Real Estate Brokers. And as soon as I get back into it, I'm like, dude, this is just in a few years, 3 or 4 years, I'm like, it's a different game. So I started really, really studying what was going on. And this Google Trends right here says it all. Okay. Is that cash offer has exceeded search for real estate agent. Hopefully you guys are paying attention to this and you understand where I'm going with it. But that is what we call a grand slam offer. But let me tell you why it works. Okay, here's why it works. Boom. Let's go to Gary. Okay, you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk. These are Gary's words, not Todd's. If you have to run around town spending time and money telling prospects who you are, what you do, and how you're different, you have a brand positioning problem. So that's why I told you guys the story at the beginning about Remax. I'm backstage hanging out with the top 10 Remax agents in the world, and not a single one of them could you find the balloon anywhere. And I was like, okay, well, I got this one right. All right. I'm making millions. Okay. And I'm telling you, I started from bankruptcy and homelessness when I got into real estate. And I'm not exaggerating that. Okay. It's a well-known fact. So I'm like, what did I do differently? I just told you. The reason I was bankrupt is because I had a failed business. When I was 19 years old, I talked my grandmother into loaning me $40,000. I took it and I bought a Primo's Pizza franchise in Metro Atlanta, Georgia. 3 years later, 21 years old, it's gone. I still owe my grandmother plus a lot of other people money now, and had to flash sell my house. And that's when I got my real estate license. So I did a lot of people do when things don't work out in life. I got my real estate license. And a couple of years into it, I figured out like, this ain't working. What everybody else is doing is not going to solve my problems. Okay. So what am I going to do? So I teamed up with the #1 real estate agent in the United States of America in 1992. #1. The guy was selling over 300 homes, made over $1 million. The next closest competitor in the United States was 50% behind him. So that's how far out in front this guy was. And I learned about 4 things that were absolute game changers that put me on a path to changing my personal life. And since that moment in time, I've done everything I can to share it with people. and build businesses around it and provide those opportunities to real estate agents in the marketplace to scale. But this is a true statement right here. And this is everyone's problem that didn't used to be a problem. See, when I was backstage, Chase, Nathan, with those real estate agents at that, there at the late 90s at that convention, being a top 10 with Remax, you didn't have to promote that Remax balloon. It wasn't the law yet. Did you guys know that? That at one point in the past, you didn't have to disclose what brokerage you had your license with? That was a strategic advantage. But then they started passing laws. You got to disclose your brokerage. Yeah, now it's got to be as bigger than your own name. And I'm like, well, that's the brand then. The brand has all of a sudden become the balloon. This is not going to work. Okay, so I was out. All right. So, and you guys know what I'm saying. So when I got back into real estate after selling my company, this was a big discovery for me because now it was all done on the internet, and the internet was an equalizer. A Google search equalized everyone because it was just words. Whereas in direct mail back in the day, we could control the words. And I'm like, now Google's pulling stuff from places and organically putting it out there. And I was like, yeah, that's a problem. Okay, so here's a good example that I think you guys can track on where we're going with this. Okay, because we got to solve this brand positioning problem or those offers won't work for you. Okay, there are plenty of real estate agents out there making big claims, even doing guarantees. Why isn't it working for them? You're looking at why. Lowen is a good sign company, but they get their ass kicked by Fast Signs. You guys know that, right? Multi-billion-dollar company on the right. Lowe's, is that the theater? Is that the hotel chain? Or is that the home improvement store? So obviously Home Depot is going to just crush them, just absolutely just demolish them in the marketplace. These are publicly traded companies, so they have some strategic advantages for sure based on money. So I maintain that your marketing and your promotion and you are not the problem. Okay. 100% of the problem exists with what customers most want. So I would write that down. Somebody can type that in the chat. Customers, what I've discovered and what I've learned is that the customers almost want certainty. So listing your home and putting it on the market, I might think as a real estate agent, oh, it's likely to sell, but that's not what my customer thinks. That's uncertainty all day long. So here's how it works, guys. If you want to sell more homes and make more money, then just get as close to certainty as you can. That's what we did. We just decided, you know what? Let's just go get there. Let's just do it. Let's just provide that. Why don't we just exist as certainty in the marketplace for people that want to sell their home and buy another one? So I put this slide up here to make that point. Okay. Is that most real estate agents have a massive brand positioning problem and they don't know it. All those companies on the left, number one, got sued, named in a class action lawsuit. These are good companies. I've had lunch with Gary Keller 2 or 3 times with Craig. I met Mark back in the day, okay, when we were both at Remax a long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. These are all good people that run these businesses. I'm not wouldn't say it any other way. I've met a good bit of them. Good folks, okay? But they got it wrong, man. This is their problem today. Remax, did you guys know they've lost money for 8 consecutive quarters? And what if I told the Remax guys, yeah, just FYI, your problem, it's the balloon. And they're like, well, we've had the balloon for 100 years. I was like, well, it hadn't been 100 years, but, it's been a long time, 60. So, but it's the problem, okay? That's not what the customers effing want, okay? So all of these guys on the left, their customers are real estate agents. But the real estate agent has to go get what they want. People that want to buy and sell. So they're not helping. So what do? They all do the same things. We got great systems. We got this great training. We got this great technology. And it's like, but I got to get customers, dude. If I don't have customers, I'm going to starve. Okay. So everybody just gets referrals. Okay. And it kind of ends there. So we sought to change that. So that's why we flipped our company over to Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, was obviously because you didn't have to guess what that means. All right. So it's a number one brand. We admit it. That was strategically smart. Number one brand for attracting multiple transaction customers. Show me one better. So my job, Chase's job, Nathan's job, Derek's job, the job of our leadership team is to make it easier for the agents to get what they want, period. That's our job. Number one job of Gary Keller, to make it easier for his agents to get customers. He's failing. Okay, so they change jobs. We're going to support you. And I'm like, yeah, no. If you're a brokerage, number one job is to do that. So any real estate company that doesn't make it easier for their agents to get what they most want, they're failing. And that was my takeaway in the marketplace. So I was like, well, it's not hard, to get customers. You just have to have what they want. All right. So give an example. Hopefully you guys are tracking on this, because I can run the greatest offers in the world to get people to call me, but it's competitive out there. So let me show you what I mean. So I go to Google and I type in real estate agents, in this case in Beaufort. And of course, Google's going to say, here you go. All right. So they show me some search results in the map search. All right. So let's say you want to sell your house. Given the absence of personal connection, obviously, there's no personal connection, or the personal connections you might have, you don't want. That's why you went to Google and typed in the search, right? So given the absence of personal connection, who gets the click? And I would write that down. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Who gets the click? All right, put it in the chat. Who gets the click? It's not a question. It's a statement I'm making. Okay, when someone does a search, it's what? And then, of course, Google throws up the what. And then every search result has a who. That's the brand sponsor. So everybody moves from the what to the who. And then you make your decision on who. Okay, and that's it. So given the absence of personal connection here, you want to sell your home. You know what you're looking for. Certainty. That's what you want, right? So who gets the click? Yes, that's my point. It's almost unfair. And I'm like, yeah, Mark there has to spend gobs of money, a lot of it, to compete. We don't. So I don't know how else to put it there, but these are the things that if you're a real estate agent, you got to work on overcoming in the marketplace, okay, if you want to get more sellers. Otherwise, it's just a referral business. You sell your 1 or 2 homes a month. Life is grand, and you can go on about your thing, okay? This is Tracy King here in the middle. And Tracy makes, he does about $10 million a year selling real estate. Okay, not sales volume. He makes about 10 million. Right, Chase?
Yes.
Now, look, I'm not going to say that Tracy makes 10 or $11 million a year in income selling real estate because the name of his outfit is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Okay, but I don't know what else to say. There's reasons these guys do this. Okay. They understand how marketing works. All right. So let's take it a step further, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. All right. I do a Google search on Keller Williams. Okay. 198 million search results. Okay. Remax, 126 million results. You guys see it? Okay. Go to EXP Realty, 135 million. Okay. So all of those numbers sound like a lot to me. Okay, Coldwell Banker, 49 million. That sounds like a lot to me. Not as much as the others, but I understand it. Open Door, 191 million. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of results. 72 sold in Phoenix. Pretty small. That's really small search results. If you guys are in Phoenix, you think 72 sold all that. Not according to Google. But check this out. Your home sold. That's 4.6 billion. So if you're keeping tabs here and paying attention, that's 4.5 billion more than all the others combined. So we got that right. Okay. And that didn't happen overnight. That happened because I was super successful using those words in my marketing and made that my brand when I was a Remax agent. I didn't promote the Remax balloon. When they told me to start promoting it, I quit. Okay. And went on about it because I had already determined that it doesn't work. And they agreed with me. They just didn't want me to say anything. Okay. So that gets us back to the loop there. So how else can we make these offers work really well if it's not in alignment with the brand? I would write that down. Okay. So think it through now. Todd Walters, Remax, we'll get you multiple cash offers day, guaranteed price, will pay the difference. Okay, is going to get his butt beat by your home sold guaranteed realty making the same offer for obvious reasons. One is a real estate agent making a claim. The other one is that's business says what it does what it says. You guys see it? It's just alignment. It's how the brain works on things. And of course, that's how Google works too. So hopefully that helps you guys make some sense of that. Okay. Now, all of this we've put together in our business plan, and we want to give it to you if you guys want it. Okay. So let's go start there. Okay. So this is our model. Okay. Everything that we do is to push. I shouldn't say that. That's not a good word, but it really is. Everything we do is to push real estate agents to a super profitable sales team. Okay. And I'll tell you why. All right. If you want to be super successful, like really successful, either get on a super profitable team or work on or try to grow one. So growing is a life strategy. Do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the chat if you agree with that. Growing is a life strategy. I could spend 5 minutes talking about the law of entropy. You guys would probably get bored with that one. Growing and winning is a life strategy. Growing implies you're doing something to elevate, your life personally, professionally, financially. You're doing something to it. So let me ask you: do you have a pro growth strategy in your real estate business? Do you have one? You need it, because if you don't have one, then what happens is attrition. There is no stay the same. What'd you say earlier, Nathan? 87% agents out of here every 5 years.
Yep.
Just keeps rolling over.
Absolutely.
No one,
Pretty
yeah,
brutal.
No one gets into business to stay the same or fail. Okay. But most do. It sucks. Okay. So, but that's my recommendation. I'm not saying you have to have a super profitable sales team. I'm just saying in order to battle and win the war against entropy, okay, and which is how the universe is wired. It's wired for when you exist, you're always moving to a state of decay and death. Okay, everything is. Everybody understands that. So you ever notice that we don't drift toward better relationships with our spouses? Have you ever noticed that you don't drift toward better health? You don't drift toward making more money? You ever notice that? You have to work at it, but left alone, we're going to drift toward failure in all areas of our life. Yes, that's the law of entropy. Okay. It's a real principle in the universe. Okay. So what do? I'm like, well, you have to have a mechanism or a business model that's a pro-growth strategy. So if you're working on growing like a team, okay, if you're working on growing your business, you may never have a team. But if you're working on growing it, I can assure you, you're working against the forces of failure. So that's why we say that you go beyond a team like that or work on growing one, and you can be super successful. All right. So this is what we give real estate agents in the marketplace. So let's say Brian here wants to sell more homes and make more money. Awesome. Okay. My condition is don't give up your personal life to do it. Okay. There's no need in it. Okay. That because we have the law of leverage. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I will give you, Brian, as a real estate agent at our company, the playbook on this model. Every job description, when to hire, who to hire, every key performance indicator, what to pay them to go from real estate agent to super profitable sales team. Okay. It's a franchise prototype. that we hand to all of the real estate agents in the marketplace. And the reason the reason it works is because there's a system behind it, and you're looking at it. We have a system for getting customers. We have a system for converting customers to high-paying clients. We have a system for um, turning customers into lifetime customers. There is no such thing as a past client. Everybody got that? No such thing as a past client. It implies another sale. And if you want to know, like, well, what do you mean, Todd? It's like, well, as soon as the deal is done on their primary, we go back to that customer a few months later and we sell them more real estate, i.e., an investment property. Do it every year. So if you guys aren't doing that for yourself, you might want to write that one down. Okay. Buy one home a year, sell your customers one home a year using other people's money. Don't need to use your own money to buy real estate. Okay. Use other people's money, buy one home a year, then sell one home a year 20 years later. So I bought 20 houses. Now I'm going to sell 20 homes. Okay. One a year. So think about it. I buy a home for 500 today. In 20 years from now, somebody else paid for it over that time frame. 20 years from now, sell it. Bought it for 500. It's arguably worth more than $1 million. Can you live on $1 million? That is our lifetime customer system, or at least one of the 4 parts to it. Okay. And so we don't have time to talk about that today, but I'm just telling you, as a strategy in business, most of you guys are sitting on jackpots just with the customer base that you currently have and people you've done business with. Go sell them more real estate. Okay. So in our CRM that we're going to look at here in a minute, you're going to see where a little notification pops up after you sell a house, and it tells you and the customer to get together to do just that. Okay. So all of this comes together to kind of summarize all of this for you guys. All of this comes together in a plan. So if someone can type into the chat for me that there is only plan and system. So I'm going to share with you guys our business plan that we hand to real estate agents, along with all of the systems to go along with it, so that they can sell more homes and make more money than they ever dreamed they could. Okay. Now, 100% of the agents who implement the system, who make it their business operating system, 100% of those guys are millionaire agents. And I will share some of them with you here in a moment. So I'm going to open up the business plan. Okay. This is the summary of the business plan. You can see that the first 8 weeks happens every week. And then you can see that then it goes every other week. Okay. Just take a look at that real fast. If you would like to get a copy of this plan, we will send you one, but you could take a real good peek at it. The thing starts with the obvious. What are you doing? Like, what do you want to do? Why are you here? What do you want to accomplish? Okay. Your vision, and then your routine. Okay. Well, your routine needs to be all about achieving that vision. Okay. And then we start with some basics of real estate, because our basics are different, including the buyer and seller agreements that we use with buyers and sellers. If we get a chance, we'll look at those here in a minute. Okay. And then it just moves through the systems. Okay. Down here, and if you guys can see week 14, 16, and 18 there in the lower left-hand corner, that's called leveraging customers to get more customers. I showed you guys just a peek at week 7, the multiple guaranteed cash offer system that also guarantees price. Okay. Again, this is a summary. You can see at the end of the first 12 months checklist, it's like, okay, let's go do another $1 million. Okay. Now, when we get into the pages of the business plan, you can see what it looks like. Okay. Every single thing says, okay, let's go do this. Okay. All right. You got it. So it's about implementation, all right, and execution of these things, but it starts with the learning process. And this is where most real estate agents get it wrong. What they're learning, what they're trying to do, we're just doing the wrong things. I know, because I did that for a while. And it sucks. Wasting time and money, not achieving what I most want. Okay, so there again, if I go to the next one, let's go to week 4. It says, watch this and then go do this. So learning followed by action, learning followed by action, learning followed by action. Okay, now you may say, like, well, where's all this like watch stuff? Well, let's take a look, see what you guys think. So what we did is we took our entire business plan that we give to real estate agents there, okay, and we put it together on a platform called yhsgru.com. We call it the university. Okay, so we took that entire business plan, all of those materials, okay, and we turned them all into a video training university. Okay, like right here, check it out. Let me blow this up just a hair. This is the first 12 months checklist just right here. Oh, incidentally, there's over 700 videos in here with multiples of video training courses, but we've gamified it, which is awesome. All right, so we turned it into a system. This is the first 12 months checklist. Okay, so if I click right here on Advanced Agent Workshop, which was week 3 there, you guys will see right here kind of what it looks like. Okay, this system right here, this course on working with buyers, if all of you guys had it right now, you wouldn't even have thought twice about the NAR lawsuit and the changes that went on in MLS. You wouldn't even have thought twice about it. Okay, and the reason is for 35 years. 35 years, that's a long time. Okay, scroll down, I'll show it to you. Right here, setting your fee, negotiating fee, and collecting fee. We've been getting 3.5 to 4.5% on buyer deals for, no joke, 35 years. 3.5 to 4.5, regardless of what's being offered up by the listing agent. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we call it our VIP buyer system. We value stack what we give buyers, and then we get paid more than what's being offered up in MLS. We've been doing it for decades. Okay, you just have to know how to collect the fee deficiency. Okay, well, the agents our company know that pretty well. If you've ever done any deals with them, then you know. Okay. All right, so let me show you what it looks like. See what you think. Okay, so now we've got the basics of an offer. Okay, so you can see right here. It's Todd, billion-dollar agent Todd, in this course anyway, standing in front of a green screen, walking you through the materials. And you'll see that this little video is 9 minutes long. Okay, I'm definitely not playing the video for you. No need to do that. But I'm going to go to the end of it in the next video. And when I get to the end of the video, you know what happens? It's game on. Okay, the reason the videos are short, okay, is because I can't pay attention worth the crap. It's hard enough for me to like sit in church for a 30-minute lesson from the pastor and remember what he said the first 5 minutes. So I don't know about you guys, but that's tough. It's tough for me to recall and remember things. So what we did is we took all of the materials, the billion-dollar agent materials, we broke them down into individual training courses, and each video in the course is only 5 or 10 minutes long. And it says right here, this chapter test is a series of multiple questions, okay, that I got to get right, and it's going to be recorded on my report card. So we gamified it. We turn it into a system. So when I click on the thing, you can see it's counting down. So let's say that Brian's a team leader, and he's got a team of agents, and they're weak, or I shouldn't say all of them. Some of them are weak on conversion of his optimum fee, or weak on conversion of getting the paperwork signed, or weak on conversion of getting the buyer out the door and into a home within 2 weeks. Okay, whatever it is, he can direct them back to the training course and keep tabs on whether they're learning or not. Okay, so I got a minute to get the question right. I get it right. It opens up the next question. I get that one right. Now I get to move to the next video. What happens, Chase, if I get the questions wrong?
You got to go back and do it all over again.
Exactly. Nobody wants to do that. Your progress has been recorded and is viewable on your report card, blah, blah, blah. All right, it's pretty slick. So we built an entire platform with that business plan that we were just looking at there. Okay, an entire platform on it. Let me go back and show you the business plan here. Boom, there it is. There it is. Now, if you guys would like to get a copy of this plan, we'll give it to you right now. Okay, and but here's what I would like you to do with it, if it's okay. Compare it to your plan. What are you doing? What are you following? What are you implementing? that's going to get you to where you most want to go in real estate. So our guarantee is that any real estate agent that grabs this plan within the first 12 months of just dabbling with the thing, we guarantee at least $250,000 in income to the agent. If they don't make it, we'll pay them the difference. Now, that's a pretty good guarantee. So if you'd like to get a copy of that plan, like I said, everybody who's fully implemented the plan, they're millionaire agents. Okay? So if you'd like to get a copy of this plan, we will send you one. How do I get a copy of it, guys?
We can just put a poll out right now. If you say yes to the poll, what we'll do is we'll zip it over to you via email. And if you want to confirm where you've got your right email on file, you can always just put your email in chat as well.
Do I need to launch a poll, or did you do it?
Let me pull it up here. Poll and quizzes. We're going to launch that right there. Business plan request is what we call it.
Okay. Well, there you go. So if you want to get a copy of the plan, we want you to have it. But go ahead and shop it around, compare it. Here's our guarantee behind the plan, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody can show better, if you can show a better planner system in the real estate industry, just hit me up with it. Let me know, and we'll write a check for $10,000 to the charity of your choice. Somebody put that into the chat. Shop the plan. Shop our system at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty against anyone. I don't care what company it is in the real estate industry. Find me a better plan and system that beats this one, and I will stroke a check instantly for $10,000 to the charity of your choice. So we've had that on the table in the real estate industry now for years, and no one's been able to do it. And I'm like, look, if you're not accomplishing what you most want in real estate, the reason is you probably haven't gotten connected to the right system yet. So maybe you should consider ours. So that's my plug for Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. My job today was to get on and share with you guys some philosophy, some thoughts, some experiences, and some things that we're doing to get more sellers. Okay. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about money. Okay. How you guys can increase the amount of money you make per transaction. And then we're going to look at some technology. All right. So I guess I should probably share this with you. We took that entire business plan and we put it into a technology platform that does it for you. So I know that's far out there, but with the artificial intelligence today, you can actually do that. So pretty slick. We'll show it to you guys here in a minute. And then we're going to wrap it up here in about 30 minutes with how to get paid like a broker owner without being a broker owner. So if you didn't participate in the poll, we're closing it. Okay, so the last chance to get a copy of that business plan if you want it. Chase, congratulations. Looks like everyone who polled said they wanted it.
Yes, we played well.
That does make me feel good, I got to tell you, because we spent a lot of years and a lot of time on that business plan. But again, it's like a set of blueprints. You guys know what I mean? A set of blueprints, like if you wanted to build a house, makes perfect sense. We're in real estate here. You want to build a house. Let's say it's a $4 million home. No, let's be more accurate, $5 million. 100% of everyone who's implemented that plan that you guys are going to look at and have a copy of, 100% of the agents, and if we have time, I'll show them to you, some of the agents, 100% of them make over $5 million a year selling real estate. That's a lot of money. Okay, I don't care who you are, $5 million or more in income, you got to be kidding me. There are lots of those guys out there. It's just that they don't run in the circles of the majority of real estate agents. Okay. So anyway, so we'll make sure you get a copy of that. And again, if you can find a better plan and system in real estate, let me know. And I will proudly write a check for $10,000 to the charity of your choice. I don't believe you're going to find one though. Okay. So inside that business plan, we get into where we discuss and we share with our buyer and our seller agreements. Okay. The board forms we don't use at this company. This is page 2 of the buyer agreement. Took me a second there. Page 2 of the buyer's agreement. Okay. And you can see that I took a couple of bullet points and I blew them up for us just to look at real fast. Okay, you can see the first guarantee says we're going to get you access to homes that you can't find on the internet or on your own. And we give an example of that: unlisted off-market homes, bank foreclosures, for sale by owners, company-owned homes. Yeah, call it hard to find properties. Okay, now why am I bringing this up? Because you're getting ready to see the results of value stacking. Okay, in real estate, there are only 3 ways for you to grow your business. Chase, what are they?
Number one, you can do more deals. Number two, you can make more money per transaction. And number three, you can increase the likelihood or the frequency customers come back and do business with you.
There's only 3 ways you can grow your business in real estate. Okay, everybody write that down. Only 3 ways. So what you need, if you're really into it, is you want a system that will do all 3 of those simultaneously. So getting customers is not a problem with the name of your company as Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I mean, give me a break. Not a problem, especially with the offers that I showed you guys. You know, we'll guarantee the sale of your home. We'll buy it. We'll get you multiple cash offers today, or we'll pay, you know, if in 100% of market value, or we'll pay the difference. No need to list your home to get that. So obviously that's a pretty simple way to get more sellers. All you need to do is position it on your Google business profile and some of the other marketing that you'd be doing anyway. Okay. So, and you can get customers. And when you get a customer, we just use them to get more. Okay. With the system. In other words, you own your own marketing platform. There is no buying internet leads here. There's no cold calling, begging for referrals and all that mess. Just totally unnecessary in real estate. That's what the majority do. So remember how we started. Whatever the majority is doing, we probably shouldn't do it. Okay, let's do the opposite and build a business like that. And it's way fun, I got to tell you, because what the majority's doing ain't working. All right, so this buyer agreement, you'll see bonus number 2 there says the buyer's going to get a written satisfaction guarantee that says if they're not happy with their home purchase, we'll buy it back from them. Now, again, this is page 2 of 5 of the VIP buyer agreement when we sit down with a buyer and we sign them up to work with us. Okay, you guys with me? Now, the reason I just pulled out 2 points out of 5 pages is just I wanted you to see just value stacking, just a very good example of just value stacking. So I'm going to ask you, if you did that, if you offered buyers, or if you had a system where you could get buyers access to homes that they can't find on the internet, how much more valuable are you over the average agent? So let's say the average agent gets 2.5%. How much more valuable are you now with just that one thing? 25% more? 35% more? How much more will they pay for that? The customer, or guarantee you get paid for it? Yes. And then just value stack it from there. And so when I said we get 3.5, so all of you here today can get 3.5 to 4.5% working with buyers on an average selling price in the mid 4s. You can get it. Okay. But you've got to have value. Can't overlook that. And then you just need to know the system for setting, negotiating, collecting your fee. That's what we did. All right, let's look at a seller agreement. Okay, this is page 3 of our seller agreement. Same thing. So I pulled out here just a couple of points. Look at point number 1 that I blew up. It says we're going to sell your home at your price or we'll pay you the difference. We're going to sell your home at your price, we'll pay you the difference. Okay, now if you're selling your home, do you think that's a good value? How much more would a customer be willing to pay you for that kind of certainty? Look at the one on the bottom. Hey, we're going to sell your home in your time frame. If we don't sell your home in your time frame, I'll just pay you $100 every week thereafter. How much more valuable now would you be with that? That's not counting all the other stuff. Okay, and remember, this seller here, if we've gotten this far, they didn't like the offers that I gave them. So now we're guaranteeing their price and moving forward. And I'm also guaranteeing the seller their home, as you can see from just that. That's just page 3 of the seller agreement. So I bring that up so that you guys can understand what value stacking is. All right, because if we move forward a little bit and we look at money, Okay. Hopefully you'll be pretty happy with this. Where's that? Here it is. Boom. This is what agents, this is what our, this is what real estate agents at your home so guaranteed realty, are getting paid. Okay. Number one, they get paid 3 times. Why do you need to get paid 3 times on a transaction, Todd? So you can get paid. If all you're doing is getting paid 1 time on a buyer and seller deal, the odds of you not getting paid just went way up. When you collect a little bit of money up front from a buyer or a seller, you know what happens? You increase the likelihood they're going to buy and sell with you. Duh. That's a business principle that happens in every industry. Why isn't that a norm in real estate? Because what's normal in real estate doesn't work very well, as we've all known. Look at sellers. Okay. How would you like to double in every or virtually every listing that you take on? Of course you would like to do that. Why doesn't that happen? Because that's not the business practice to try to make it happen. I list a home, I jam it in MLS, and I hope somebody else sells it. All right. And give away a lot of money to do that totally unnecessarily, by the way. That's not our system. That's not our system. I don't know what else to say there. Okay. So just with some of the value stacking I showed you, you can increase the amount of money that you make per transaction. So the first thing we looked at today was increasing transactions by having a better brand or a superior brand that aligns with the customers that you most want and making offers in alignment with that brand, including getting sellers what they want more than anything else to not list their home and sell it. Okay. So I showed you that. Then we followed it up with the number 2 way to increase your business, increase the amount of money that you make per transaction. How do you do that? By value stacking. That's it. Just offer more value. What kind of value? Certainty. Customers want certainty. So the closer you get to it, the more customers you're going to get. That's our system. We share with you our business plan for doing that. Okay. Now, before we take a look at our technology platform, where we took our entire business plan and all of the systems and put into a technology platform to try to answer the call of getting things implemented. I think that's real estate agents' number 1 problem. I told you I'd introduce you to some people that have done this. Okay, this is Nancy Kowalik. When I met Nancy, she was making $54,000. Now she makes over $4 million. When I met Nathan, he was doing $200,000. Now he does $6 million in income. Rudy, when I met him, he was doing a couple of hundred. Now he makes $25 million a year income. Tracy, mentioned him a little bit earlier. Met him, he was doing $500,000. People say, why would somebody doing over $500,000 want to make a change? And I'm like, I guess he wanted to make $10 million. Barb Schlinker, met Barb, she was making $25,000 a year selling real estate. Now she makes over $3 million a year selling real estate. JD Van Gilder goes from 1 sell a month to millionaire agent. Same story with Kelvin Reed. Same story with Ricardo Dodal. Same story with Ira Miskin. Same story with my own daughter, Morgan. She was in college, playing softball, decides or gets hurt or whatever, doesn't, it's over. She's like, what am I going to do now? I'm like, I don't know, babe, life, you got to figure it out, go get a job. And she's didn't know what to, so she got into real estate. She did a lot of things people do when things don't work out. She got into real estate like I did. She had no money, no database, for sure no money. Oh, and no leads. She didn't get any leads from me because I don't have any leads to give her. So what did she do? She just implemented the system, a couple little pieces of it, makes $250,000 first 12 months in business. Trevor Smith, great guy. He was a chauffeur driver, a buyer's agent for a blind real estate agent. No kidding. He says, I think I can do this. I think he's glad he did. He's a millionaire agent. Jamie Turvey, her dad owned a Remax franchise in Metro Atlanta. I knew him pretty well. And he decided to shutter his shop. And she says, well, what am I going to do, Dad? And he said, you know what? You should call Todd. He knows how to make money. And so she did. I think she's glad she did. Tammy and Erica, 30,000 to millionaire agents. Dan Odom, I went to kindergarten with. He was a real estate appraiser. I said, Dan, dude, you can see like what we're doing here works. Why don't you just stop that real estate appraisal gig, come over here with us and live life to the fullest. I think he's glad he did. Jesse Warnke was a buyer's agent, turned millionaire agent with the system. Carol Royce, okay, my good friend out in Arizona. I've known her for 20 years. Okay, when I met her, she was in the top 20 for Keller Williams. And people say, why would someone that's making $1 million make a change? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she wanted to make 6 times that. Okay. Wally Kerr, 400 sales a year, but he didn't start there. He was doing 60 when I met him. It even works in foreign languages like French. This is Bertrand and Argy. When I met them, they had to bring a toaster to the conference that we were hosting because they couldn't afford to buy food at the hotel. I understand it. That's freaking expensive. But so they brought their own food. Now they make over $10 million a year. I should update that slide. Mike Zakos, 78,000, 1.5 million now. And Shelly Salas, #1 Hispanic real estate agent in the entire United States of America. When I met her, she was doing 300 sales a year to make 500 grand. Can you imagine? 300 deals to make 500. Her average selling price was peanuts. It was all foreclosure. She hated her life, hated her business. What am I going to do? I was like, you should do this. I think she's glad she did. So there's a few people that have put this system to work in their business. And you know what? I think they're glad they did. So what I would do if I were you guys, okay, is I would connect up with someone here. Chase, you want to pull up the YHS CRM?
Yes.
Try to connect with one of the team members here and book a one-on-one agent strategy call. Okay, and just take a deeper dive into the system overall. Just take a deeper dive in it. Show up to some of our other trainings that we're doing and sit in on it and compare it to whatever you're doing right now. We don't need fancy websites. We got them, okay, but we don't need all that. Just show up and watch the work being done. That's what I would do. That's what I'm interested in. Because you know, at the end of the day, you gotta work with the buyers, you gotta work with the sellers. You need more of them to accomplish what you want. And the trend of income going down is a real trend. So how are you going to reverse that? Okay, with this system. All right, so we took that business plan and baked it into some technology that is, well, let me just say it. So #1 lead generation website and CRM in the industry, guaranteed. Okay, because it's our plan inside this platform, and all of the real estate agents in our company utilize it. And what's beautiful about it, Chase, is that it does the work for them.
It sure does.
You want to share it?
I sure can.
All right, take it away, big dog.
Absolutely. So I pulled up on the screen here, Todd, the YHSGR CRM. And like you said, everything in that business plan there is absolutely baked into the platform here. So everything just happens autonomously. All the tasks, all the emails, the text, the prospecting, the marketing, all of it is just built right into the platform here. So it does allow everybody who jumps in to really get their life back. It's probably the best way to describe it. And what I like about it most, it really almost guarantees sale a month is so we can dive into that. Oh, you
Yeah.
there for
Yeah, we lost you there just for a minute. Keep rolling, man.
Okay, awesome. So we can absolutely dive into here and look at that and show you guys some of the bells and whistles. As a high level overview, I will say it would take a lot longer. It'd probably take a couple hours to fully go through this line by line, but we can absolutely give you an overview. I think it does start with the website here. So I'll click into our website here and it looks like Todd. Oh man, look at that. They're doing some, got our web guys doing some work and I think for us right now. The new up.
So on the
Awesome.
on the web,
So it
yeah,
does-
on the website there, you're going to show some of the buyer ads and seller ads. You were just breaking up a little bit, so I just kind of intervened.
Yes, is it still breaking up? Still weird?
Keep going, man. We'll let you know if it does. Technology ain't always perfect all the time.
Yeah, never know what's going on. So I believe it does start with the website. So what we've got baked in for every real estate company is it always starts with that. #1, we get you your own lead gen website. And the goal of that is purpose. getting new customers, buyers and sellers. And it does start with the buyer and the sellers here. And what each of the buyer and the seller are is their offers, their landing page offers of exactly what the sellers are searching for online of what they want. And we're going to take the copy and the information there and you the world, your database, both free and paid. And as a result, they reach out saying, hey, I like that, I need that. And boom, you pick up customers wide open with that. So an example of that, click on one of my favorite here for sale by owner. And we'll jump into here as an example. But we're going to Google and they're typing in things like, how can I sell my home without an agent? Which is a very controversial thing for us. But what we're able to do is we're able to leverage that and use it so that way you can go get more customers. So we tell the universe that we will give you a report, which we do, of how you can sell your home by yourself. And when oftentimes they read it and they understand it and they can do it, but it's a lot of work. So it's a fantastic offer and ad to make to the universe because the 20% who do use it, they sell their home exactly with the advice that we give them. But the 80%, we absolutely pick up a seller from that as an example there. You would see the copy right there on the left. And down here at the bottom, they're going to claim their free special report. And once they do that, they're going to do view my report. And it's going to take them a report of exactly how 10 steps there for selling as an example. And we've got this not only for sellers, tons of offers there. You can see same thing for buyers. So on and moving up as an example, one of my favorite buyer ads is we love buyers with a home to sell. So to attract them, a lot of buyers, as you know, they go to Google and search for how to sell, how do I move to a large home? How do I avoid the catch-22? And what we absolutely do is we have ads and landing pages and offers. They go to that, they read the information, they request the report. Same thing there. View my report, and boom, we give them the exact ways of how to do that. You've got a lead drops into your system. Just as one example there, starting with the lead gen website. Now it's going to pump, and you're going to have all of your leads, your entire database and pipeline right here. So you can see here at the top, as we move customers through the buying and selling from left to right, we just move them as they come in. So a new lead would pop in as an example here. And that lead now, once you click into it, you're going to get information about it, either manually add or auto imported based on the lead source. And we're going to be utilizing the platform, as Todd mentioned, and the business plan to run them through a series of smart plans, we like to call them, where they're going to get pushed from a new lead all the way to an attempted contact, to nurturing, to appointment set, appointment met, signed agreement, showing, submitting offers, all the way through closing. And we're able to do that leveraging the business plan and smart plans here. So if I click into the smart plan, and I'm going to type in YHSGR, what's going to happen is all of our company smart plans, business plan, get active autonomously inside of the platform based on the pipeline stage that buyer or seller is at. So there's no more thing of, oh, I should call them because they just want a contract, or I need to go write the offer now because they want to put an offer on the house. The system automatically notifies all parties what to do and when to do it and how to do it. So an example, an open house, and someone attended the open house. And you're like, what do I do with all the buyers who showed up at the open house who didn't buy, or who were inviting in and talk to them enough at the open house? All of those get immediately to the CRM at time of showing up to the open house. And every action item from that point forward of how you convert those buyers either on that property or become reviewers on a different property, that system just gets activated. So everything you can think of with real estate, right? So once you book a buyer appointment, what happens next? Booked a seller appointment. What's a buyer closing plan look like? The system just nurtures and moves all the customers through the pipeline, giving consistency, predictability, and ultimately your life back.
Go back, Kenny, go back to the website.
Yeah.
All right. So on some of the ads, okay, so these are all ads, right? These are all of our ads in our library. Like the one on the buyer there where it says moving up. Just click on that one. Okay. This was one of my best ads. Okay, for getting move up buyers with a house to sell. Okay, so this is a really good video ad. the way we used to run it was in the little newspaper as an editorial. It didn't look like an ad. It looked like news, like a news article. Just crushed it. And so in today's world, see, because there's no more newspapers, right? Well, they're still around, but not your local community newspapers like there used to be. Now we have the internet and social media. So this turns into an editorial via video, and it works really good. So they click the link, they end up on your site, they fill out the form. See the form? Show the form there, Chase. So I fill out the form, boom, I'm in the lead now in the system. All the automation and the plans kick in, obviously, for remarketing and follow up. So cool. Now go to the seller tab. We'll look at one more. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of the differences in the marketing, and it's critical that you guys own your own marketing systems. Buying leads on the internet is fine. You can do that if you want to, but at some point you really need to get into controlling your own stuff. All right. It's just way more profitable, and less time consuming, quite frankly. All right. So one of my favorite ads is that for sale by owner ad. Show that one, Chase. Fizbo. There you go. All right. Check it out. How to sell your home without a commission, or excuse me, how to sell your home without an agent and save the commission. How to sell your home without an agent and save the commission. So I was invited one time to speak in front of the board of realtors on a marketing panel. And so this was the ad that I brought along with me and shared with everyone in the room, about 300 or so agents. And they weren't real happy with me. I never got invited back to speak at the board of realtors, but it was one of my best ads. It generated gobs of seller leads. And we made a lot of money, about $500,000 a year from this one ad. Okay. So now what do you do with this ad? How do you run the ad? Well, I know how to run the ad. It's in the business plan how to run the ads. Okay. But I'm letting you guys know is that if you're going to take to the marketplace and you're going to attract more people with a house to sell, you better give them what they want. That's what this is. It's just more of what they want. Okay. And you generate a lot of prospects. Then you have a system for following up to convert the prospect to an appointment. Okay. I can do that right now. Let's say that Chase here is the seller and he wants this report on how to do this. So I follow back up with Chase. Hey, Chase, it's Todd with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Hey, the reason I'm calling is I received your request for the report on how to sell your home without an agent, save the commission, and I've sent that to you. Is that okay? Chase says, all right. And I'm like, hey, are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? And Chase says, well, yes, we are. I'm like, do you have an agent to help you when the time is right? No. Okay, well, would you guys be interested in getting a really good idea of what you can expect to sell your home for? I can even give you some tips on what to do and more importantly, what not to do to get the most amount of money when you get ready to sell, and go over all the costs you'll have so you much have left in your pocket at closing. That's just a free service that I offer area homeowners. Would you like to get that too? Well, I don't know, because we really don't want to list yeah, I'm not coming to list your house. I'm coming to help you with that if you want it. Do you think it would be helpful? Well, yes, it would. Okay. Now, if I could tell you how many homeowners I met with that would say, we're not listing our home with an agent. We're not paying a 7% commission. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. I'm a $1 billion agent because I went to those appointments and walked out with customers because what I put in front of them was irresistible. Guarantees to sell their home at their price in their time frame. Now, today, we give them the offers up front, and then if they don't want them, we move forward with those guarantees. That's our system. So if you guys want this system, you can have it. You can absolutely have it. You just got to get connected to one of these Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty companies. Okay. So I would talk to someone about it. Now, Chase, that leads us to the conclusion that we wanted to get into on money, which is getting paid without selling real estate.
Absolutely.
How many of you guys would be interested in getting paid, not selling real estate? I know it sounds funny, right? But that's what it is. This is it right here. Get paid like a broker owner without being a broker owner.
You may share it.
Sure. You want to?
I think we both share at the same exact moment. This is
go ahead. Yeah, you're just kind of going in a lot about your Zoom there, your Wi-Fi or internet or something's kind of wonky.
Is it still goofed up? Hmm.
Just kind of comes and goes a little bit, but it's
Okay,
not
you
awful.
can share.
It's not awful.
Okay. Copilot.
Sometimes when you're streaming video and audio at the same time, it's a drain. All right, so let's take a look. Okay. All right, so getting paid like a broker owner without being a broker owner. That's called passive revenue. Your active revenue is what you make from selling real estate. So at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, we have a revenue share plan, 3 levels. It's the best revenue share plan in the industry. I would challenge anybody to find one better. EXP has a revenue share plan, but the agents have no system. So they average not even that, 40 something $1,000 per agent per year at their company. Okay. I think we're running around, last time we looked at it, about $350,000 per agent per year at the company. So that's a big difference. That's because we have a system. So if you're going to get involved in a revenue share plan company like EXP Real, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, you want to make sure that the agents have a system so they sell more homes and make more money and the revenue share plan actually pays out. Okay. That's the best advice I got for you. All right. So this is the pay plan. Okay. This is our pay plan. So if we look at it, the brokerage makes money 2 ways. Okay. The 20%, which has a $15,000 cap, and the $495 transaction fee, which the customer pays according to our buyer and seller agreements. Okay. That's how it breaks down. The 20% is brokerage profit. The $495 is what the brokerage use to pay bills. Okay. So we take the brokerage profit and we just share that or give that back to all of the agents that were responsible for getting that agent to the company. Okay. It's called a revenue share plan. Here's an example. $400,000 average selling price at a 4% commission, which is about normal for us. That's $16,000. So we take that 16 grand, multiply it times 20%. That's the brokerage profit from the 80-20 pay plan. You divide it by 3. Okay. Why did we divide it by 3? Because it's a 3-level revenue share plan. We're going to take that $1,066 3 times and pay it up. Okay. To the upline, the people that were responsible for getting that agent there. Okay. Customer paid a transaction fee and the agent walks away with a much higher than average amount of money on the deal. Okay. So what we've discovered is that real estate agents have no problem introducing other agents to the company if there's a good benefit for them. Okay. So while you're at it, let's just make it a revenue share plan. So it kind of looks like this. Tier 1 are the agents that you would introduce to the company. Tier 2 are the agents that Tier 1 would introduce, and Tier 3 are the agents that are the agents that the Tier 2 guys introduced. And you get paid on all of them, right? $15,000 cap divided by 3, up to $5,000 a year per agent. So let's say that Brian here, over the course of a year, introduces 10 agents to the company. Okay, they're all selling real estate. What we've discovered at each one of those agents are probably going to introduce about 2 each. So before you know it, you got 70 people in your downline. Okay, if you run the numbers on that, if these are producing agents now, that's the key. Okay, if these people actually sell real estate, that's what it looks like. You get to make $350,000 a year not selling real estate. Okay, that's passive income just because you introduced 10 real estate agents to the company. And the answer is, yep, that's how it works. Okay, as an example. Okay, it could be way bigger or it could be way smaller. Just depends on how active somebody is in introducing other agents to the company, how active they are. Okay, and that's what goes on here. Revenue share plan. Did I get it right, Chase?
You sure did.
So there's a good overview of our systems for selling more homes and making more money without giving up your personal life to do it. Okay. There's more. Okay. But here's what I would suggest you guys do. If you like today's training, the philosophy of it, especially, I'll admit, I'm not the greatest presenter in the world, maybe not even the greatest trainer in the world. There's people out there that are way better at it than me. I know the content very well, and I know how to make a lot of money selling real estate, a lot of it. Okay. And it's based on a philosophical outlook. And the philosophy is, if you want to make a lot of money, you better figure out how you're going to go help a lot of other people get what they want in life. So in other words, you make it about the other people, go help. That's the game. Go help them. Okay. And you'll get paid. Okay. And that's it. So that was all I set out to do. How can we help more people? How can we help more people get what they want? How can we help more people? I know what we do. We offer certainties. We offer guarantees. We become certainty and guarantees, build entire systems out for that. Boom, it happens automatically. That's it. So you guys are welcome to show up if you want on some of our other trainings where we actually train the agents, work with them on a daily basis outside of, in addition to the university platform. So on tomorrow's Wednesday. Is that right? Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. So we're going to be looking at our lead generation systems tomorrow with the agents at the company. Lead gen clinic, we call it. So if you'd like a link to that, we'll get you one, get you signed up for it. And you can sit in and pretend like you're an agent at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and we will work with you on selling more homes and making more money by getting a flow of the customers that you most want without expensive advertising, without door knocking, without cold calling, without manual grunt prospecting at all, and without buying internet leads, begging for referrals. Okay. So through our automatic reverse prospecting system. If that day doesn't work for you, jump on Thursday with our financial model where we get into the buyer and the seller agreements and value stacking. Okay. If that doesn't work for you, get on Tuesday, where we basically dive into your Google business platform and generate at least one new seller lead, or one new seller deal a week organically through search engine optimization. You know, after all, the name of the company is Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty. You should be able to do that. So if you'd like to do any of that, just get with our team here and we can get you guys a link to that. Did we have any questions that we didn't answer today? I'm looking through them here. If you guys have a question about our system or the philosophy of, hey Chase, can you in like 5 minutes, can you show a buyer transaction? I just think that would be a good idea, Nate.
For sure. That'd be a good idea.
Let's just take a look at a deal. Okay, so I want to share with you, if we can pull it up here, we'll just pull up a transaction where, you know, just a regular real estate transaction at Your Home Sold where the agent gets paid 3.5% to 4.5% on the deal as the buyer's agent. Okay, how to set, negotiate, and collect the fee. Since many of you guys are dealing with that NAR problem out there, but let me share it with you. It's only a problem for the majority. The minority of real estate agents like us, no problemo. Okay, for decades, we've been getting paid fee deficiencies through the proceeds of sale, you know, like I said, for decades. So it's not new for me, but I understand for most real estate agents out there, it's kind of new and they don't know what to do. But I think the reason the real estate industry was probably running around kind of freaked out about those changes with NAR was because they would be exposed for the value that they offer. So for a long time, real estate agents would get a commission and all they needed to do is show the buyer some active listings. Buyer picks one, buys it, they get paid. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not really what the buyers want per se. They want access to homes they can't find online. They're looking for certainty too. And there's a lot more to it than that. So it just exposes now, if you got to go out into the marketplace and set, negotiate, and collect your optimum fee, you better make sure that you're worth whatever the fee is. So if we're going to get paid if I want you guys, and I want you to get paid more money. So if I want you to get a pay increase, you just need to be more valuable in the marketplace than everyone else. So that's our system. All right. Now, in order to establish what the value is, then you first have to establish what your currency is. Okay. Did everybody get that? You have to establish what your currency is. So the currency, and this is a philosophy now, the currency is what you're getting paid, the ultimate value. And I'm saying, like, if you could shift your currency to from a commission check to a 5-star review? Let me just ask you guys that. And we can kind of wrap it up that way. Chase, can you pull that up and show it or no?
I'm sure. No, do you not see it?
Oh, I didn't click on it. I'm sorry. Let me do that. Chase Lance screen. I just clicked on it. All right, here we go. So your currency is a 5-star review, not the commission check. Here's what that means. The commission check is like a trophy. You can't spend it. You can just admire it. And it's like a score, like a golf score. The real currency is a 5-star review. You can only use 5-star reviews to pay your bills, send your kids to college, buy cars, pay your house note, sleep indoors, eat food, whatever. So if that were true, if it were true that you had to get a 5-star review in every single deal or you couldn't eat and live the life that you want to live, would your business be different? That's how we launched Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Everything we do is to get the 5-star review. And then your commission checks, I can assure you, are ginormous. They're better, bigger, and fatter than everyone else's. And Chase is getting ready to give you an example of that. And then we'll wrap it up today and you guys can go about your day. But this is probably too good not to share. Chase, go for it. Let's see if we can get through your internet issue.
Yes, sir. Awesome. So what I've got pulled up here is a buyer example. It's the VIP buyer agreement Todd mentioned earlier, and we just got it's a real deal. It closed this year. I just grabbed one to demo here, and page 1 looks a little different than the board agreement. So we don't use the board agreements for buyers or sellers for engagement agreements. We call them VIP agreements. So page 1 is all about the customer, the buyer in this case, and we ask them, the buyer, and they just tell us, as you can see, want a nicer home to upgrade our lifestyle, enjoy, and to make a sound investment into the future. So it's like, perfect. I got it. I understand. So buyer, what's most important to you in the home buying process? And then they just price, size, layout, and neighborhood with safety and amenities. We take note of that as well. And then at the bottom, the third question we ask the buyer, what do you believe needs to happen in order for you to get as most important? They just tell us to stick with the needs and the budget we have outlined versus being over emotional and overextending ourselves. So page 1 is all about the buyer. That's how we start the buyer agreement, which is a little different than next thing that we go into is, okay, now that I understand where you're coming from and what you're looking to do, here's my mission, is to assist you in purchasing the best home, the best price, with the least amount of hassle. And they're like, wonderful. And then page 2 is all about the services that we do differently than the industry that allows the buyer to get what they most want. We give them the financing, the homeowner service, hard to find properties, probably our favorite. We'll find them properties they cannot readily find online. Think FSBOs, unlisted, foreclosures, new construction, expired, canceled, withdrawn, and the like. We've got an entire system for that. We will arrange private showings, offer a purchase strategy, protect their interests, negotiate on their behalf, work with competent affiliates, always communicate. We just put that in writing that we'll communicate. And then 4 big bonuses down here. Number, at no cost, we work with an amazing partner. We'll negotiate this with a seller. Number 2, in the event that you ever want to sell this home in the next 2 years, no problem. We'll sell it for free or buy it back. Your choice. Bonus number 3, any point you want to fire me because I'm not delivering my promises, you owe me nothing. And then number 4, once you're in the home, we'll give you an energy saving consultation. No cost there. So page 1, dive into why they're even doing this. Page 2, now that we're very clear on why they're doing it, just show them how to execute on exactly what they most want. And they're like, okay, awesome. Page over. We make it not about us. We make it about who we serve and why we're doing this. As you guys know or may not know yet, we have a Go Serve Big mission at the company. So in every single closing, we give away money to an amazing nonprofit. Todd mentioned Dr. Ike Reichert earlier. He owns Must Ministries. He's the CEO of that.
Yeah, CEO of Must Ministries. Yeah.
Yep, he's CEO of Must Ministries. Absolutely. An amazing local nonprofit who helps in all of Metro Atlanta. And you just pick your worthy cause. We have what they do and why they do it. Fitting. So we just remind them of amazing worthy causes that we're doing business with. On every transaction, they get paid. We give them a portion of our income from the sale of real estate. And then we just say in the future, if you ever run across anybody who's looking to buy or sell, just refer them to me. I'll handle them, do a great job for them, as well as be able to help this amazing nonprofit. Then we flip over to page 4 here. And then at this point, we have to kind of start talking about the money, clear on why they're doing it and how we can solve that for them.
Yeah, if you look right there,
the top-
Jason, sorry to interrupt, buddy, but right there at the top there, see that VIP client investor program? That's the lifetime, that's part of our lifetime customer system. All right. Hey, buyer, you want to get rich? You richer, you want to create wealth? Yes. So what happens after you buy your home here? We're going to get back together in a few months. I'm going to show you to use other people's money to buy at least one home a year, have somebody else pay for it. And at the end of 20 years, just sell one home a year. Okay, buy a home for 500. Somebody's going to pay for it at the end of 20 years. It'll be worth $1 million. Sell it. It's paid for. Can you live on $1 million a year? And of course, that's a pretty good system there. And it increases the number of transactions that you would get by getting more people to come back and buy from you more often. It's a great system. And plus, real estate agents here like Nathan, like Derek, like Chase, like me, we own a lot of real estate. Okay. And we consider that to be a noble thing to do, helping our clients do the same. All right. So I can see here, Chase, the commission was 4 with a 0.5% transaction fee, and the agent negotiated it to 3.5.
Plus another half.
Yeah. So you got 4% here on this deal. And it goes back to what I said earlier. Just any one of those value propositions, how much more valuable would you be? Just any of them, how much more valuable? The board forms, they suck. That you can't do this. They're not going to allow you to be able to negotiate this kind of fee structure. The value propositions in the board forms are no bueno. And you'll see right here, this agent got $995, but instead of collecting it up front, they kicked it to closing. Okay, but they still got paid 3 times on the transactions. I would prefer, and what we teach agents is to get paid a portion of it up front. It would have been better for this agent to take 500 now and then do the rest of it at closing. It increases the likelihood to have a closing, although you wouldn't be showing this if there wasn't a closing behind it. All right, well, let's look at the settlement. Let's look at the contract and the settlement statement.
Absolutely. So they found a home here. And then this was a home that was a couple months ago. I pulled the example. So at the time, we were still able to get a quote fee or compensation in MLS. So this one had 3. Probably should pull a new one now that the changes and show it can still be done. So I'll have that the list there. So in this case, though, the seller was paying 3%. And even though quote sellers aren't paying anymore public in the MLS, we all know you call a listing agent, they still offer concessions and the like. But on this one, they're willing to give away 3%. So when we wrote up the contract here, is we just negotiate it in the form of seller paid concessions, $9,000 right there. So in a $340,000 home, we're looking to get 4%, and we're only got 3, so we've got a 1% deficiency. So when we ask for a closing cost here, we just have to cover at a minimum our fee, so it doesn't cost the buyer anything. And then the overage they get, obviously. So in that case, we absolutely did that. We get down here into the settlement statement. No surprise, getting a pay raise. We notify all the parties, the lender, the closing attorney, the of our fee, as you can see there, the deficiency as well. And then we get down into the Alta, you'll see the 9,000 seller credit there. Then you will see the money offered by the listing agent for the seller, and then the deficiency that we got there.
What was the deficiency?
The 1% plus the 995.
Okay.
So 3% over here by the seller, and then the 1% plus the 995 over here on the right.
Man, look at the listing agent had to pay out a big referral fee. So they got 6,800, and the Your Home Sold agent got almost 14,500 bucks. Okay, so look, guys, I don't know if you're into it or not, but I know that when you guys make more money, you're going to do cool things with it. You're going to give more of it away to your church. You're going to give more of it away to the charities and local worthy causes in the community that need it, and they can stretch a dollar a lot farther than we can. And you're going to invest a fair amount of it back in your business for getting more business, including infrastructure and payroll, so you can get people to help you go help more people and repeat. That's it. So that's why we promote real estate agents being among the highest paid real estate professionals in the industry as a percentage of sale. Your home sold guaranteed realty, guys. It's a fact. So anyway, thank you for showing that, Chase. Nathan, any final comments?
Appreciate having you guys on, and yeah, you guys go crush it. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys more and hopefully showing you guys a little bit more about these systems and processes.
We had a question about the guaranteed sale program, how you can guarantee the sale of a home.
Okay, well, I haven't seen your home yet, so I don't know if I can. You want to role play it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or do you want to know how it works? Which one is it? Obviously it generates a lot of calls.
Yeah, so let's see how it works and we can role play it out.
Okay, so the way the guaranteed sale program works is very, very, very simple. It's not complex at all. Okay. If they're moving up and buying one of my listings, I'm making enough money in the deal to cover my down payment if I had to buy it. Okay. So now, and the way we do it is we bake in a 5% margin. That's it. 5%. So if Derek here wants to sell his house, I will guarantee the sale of his home at a price we agree on. Okay, we have to both agree. If he wants 500 and I'm like, dude, the market value is 450, I can't guarantee 500. Everybody understand that? So you have to agree on price. That's condition number one. Okay. If Derek's moving up and buying one of my listings, I'm good. Because if Derek's home didn't sell, I could step in and buy it. Okay, because I've got my down payment covered based on the investor loan I'm getting from the bank and the downstroke required to cover the down payment in the commissions. All right, everybody understand that? And then the third piece is that I've got a 5% margin of error. So what are the odds of Derek's house not selling if I'm picking the price here? Okay, pretty low. If I'm picking the price and I'm like, I'll buy it for 95% of that price we agree on if it doesn't sell. Okay, just a 5% margin of error. Okay, very reasonable. As a matter of fact, the best guaranteed sale program in the marketplace. Okay, so if his home doesn't sell, I'll buy it for 95% of that. So what are the odds of it not selling? Okay, and the odds are like, well, I'll tell you this: I'd sold about 10,000 houses. I never had to buy one because I follow the rules of the program. It's my program. It's not the customer's. Trust me, I would have a customer say, well, Todd, I really want to get 500. And I'm like, that's cool, Nathan. I want you to get 500 too. I said, but everything on paper here says it's going to be about 480. So I can guarantee you $480,000. If it doesn't sell for that, I can buy it for 95% of that, as long as you're moving up and buying the listing there that you're looking at. And Nathan says, well, I really need to get 500. I'll tell you what we'll do. Okay. Is that I can't guarantee 500. You can see that. Like, what would you do if you were me, Nathan? Nathan's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. So, okay. It doesn't mean you can't sell it for 500. It's just that when it comes to like, or I have to buy it, we have to go by like what's happening in the marketplace here. And I'm sure you're comfortable with that. So why don't we do this, Nathan? Any buyer that comes along and wants to buy your home, I will guarantee the seller of their home as long as they're buying yours. So this increases the likelihood that your home's going to sell, right? And Nathan's like, absolutely. It's like, okay, I'm so motivated to sell your home, Nathan. I'm willing to buy a buyer's home to buy yours. So now we've just increased that. And I'll tell you what, if we do not get your home sold, I'll just waive my fee, sell it for free. So now understand, up until that moment, Nathan's gotten offers from me, right? And I've guaranteed him market value, or we'll pay him the difference in our listing agreements. We just have to agree on what that is. And we just did. The market value is between 480 and 500. So I look at Nathan and say, okay, Nathan, here's how it works. If we don't sell your home within this agreed upon price range, I will pay you the difference. And Nathan's like, This is just a win-win. There you go. So we teach real estate agents how all this works inside the university, backwards and sideways, in detailed courses, manuals, and examples like Chase just shown you. Okay. My job today is not to teach the guaranteed sell program. That's what we do for the agents at our company. It's a proprietary business practice that we have, and it's amazing. So if you guys want it, get your hands on it. It does require a license change, though. Otherwise, you got to go figure it out yourself in the marketplace. Okay. I didn't do that. I just went to someone who was implementing it and doing it, and I bought it from them when I was a kid in my 20s in real estate. I had the whole thing licensed to me. I adopted it, put it to work in my business, and built the business out of it. And here we are today doing that as well. Anyway, good question, though. That's a pretty popular one. We've been at this now for a couple hours. I'm going to wrap it up so people doesn't feel like they have to be here. Any further questions, you guys should connect with one of our team members so we can do it. Good session today, though, guys. It was a lot of talking, but we have a lot to share. And you guys were gracious with your listening today for sure. Anyway, let me remind everybody as we wrap it up, you got the DNA of the creator of the universe in you. So whatever you got on your mind you want to go do, why don't you 10X it? Thanks, Nathan. Great job. Chase, Derek, Elia. Let's go serve big. We'll see you. Thanks.